Ladies and gentlemen, so just over a couple of hours ago, we had this brand new event pop up in Marvel Contest of Champions, and it is one of these celebrity challenge events for the actor that plays Killmonger in the Black Panther movie, which is coming up next month, and he's released his challenge. We managed to do it in, I think it's like 1 hour, 50 minutes. It really wasn't too bad at all. We just chilling on live stream, having a lot of banter. And while I say it's not too bad, I think there are parts of it that are easier and parts of it that are a little bit more difficult than the previous couple of celebrity challenges that we've had recently. Those two mainly being the Web Slinger Challenge and also the Goldblum Challenge. So I think kind of the biggest difference when it comes to round 4, which is where the difficulty is at with this challenge, is that there is no life transfer. So that's a really, really big thing. I know a lot of people relied heavily on life transfer to get them through a couple of the previous challenges. So yeah, there is absolutely no life transfer, but simultaneously, not really any of the fights are too bad to deal with. You know, so stuff isn't too crazy. I think the hardest fight for a lot of people is going to be this unstunnable Iron Man that starts to regenerate a little bit more aggressively if you are, you know, not playing aggressive enough, because there's this new kind of node introduced. And I think we'll start off by, you know, having a look at the final path and all the nodes on there. And then we'll talk about kind of some of the best champions and best options for dealing with stuff. So at first we have a classic Black Panther. So the only thing to keep in mind with this dude is stun immune and also bleed immune. So you don't want to bring any bleed champions and you won't be able to parry or stun him. But you can just bait out the special one, so it isn't too bad. And next up we have Black Widow, who doesn't really have anything going on for her. She just has enhanced special 2 and unblockable special 2, so yeah, there's not really too much to Black Widow, but she's a little bit annoying to fight on her own. But one of the fairly unique things you're going to see for every fight is this new node called Aggression. So every 2 seconds on a timer, the opponent will gain a buff increasing a certain stack every 2 seconds. And this can stack, as far as I'm aware, I'm not too sure if, I think it's like 99 times. I saw it go up to 11, I believe, one fight. But I didn't really test out an insane amount. But essentially, like, as soon as you hit them, this starts to go down. So it puts a bit of pressure on you playing aggressively in these matchups, because if you're not in the heat of combat, they're going to start to gain various stats, and Black Widow's isn't too bad. It's just a little bit more crit damage, and Black Panther is more crit chance, but especially when it comes to Falcon and Iron Man, these are quite important. And also these buffs, it's very important, they cannot be nullified. You cannot use, for example, like Dr. Voodoo to convert these buffs into poison. Just as a heads up, they are passive effects and not actually classified as buffs. You have War Machine here, who starts with 24 stacks of armor up and 24 stacks of fury, which is fantastic if you have one of the champions that can rinse him down, like Dr. Voodoo, Morningstar Magic, Mordo, or Ronan Awakened. So yeah, there are some really, really interesting matchups for War Machine. When it comes to Falcon, he has Aggression Fury, which if you left him a little bit too long and then like blocked to level 1, you might take a really, really substantial amount of damage. So it's very, very important you play very aggressively against Falcon, and he also has increased power gains, so the majority of scenarios you can actually push this champion to his special 2, and Falcon's special 2, you know, you can bait and fully evade that. It's significantly easier with the special 1, but he does have special 1 bias, so he's going to use it very, very quickly whenever he has the special 1. And finally, the one that I think people are going to struggle with maybe a little bit, if anything, on the path, and that's going to be the Iron Man. So he has the regeneration aggression, so every 2 seconds that he's not hit, he's going to gain a regeneration buff that heals for 0.25% of max health every second. But again, if you leave him for too long, if you're not playing aggressively, this can mount up to a lot of regeneration very, very quickly. So you need to be very, very on the ball with this. And aside from that, he is stun immune, and also your power is drained every 20 seconds. So you need to keep those things in mind when when going against Iron Man. And then finally, we have Black Panther Civil War. Now, he has this node called Sharpened Claws, which essentially reads slash through block, inflicting 5 stacks of bleed. Each bleed does 10% of attack over 3 seconds. 3 seconds more delay before applying more stacks of bleed. And to be honest, I did this. I one-shot this dude with Dr. Voodoo. I took I think it was probably about 4 or 5 bleeds, and it really didn't do too much. Like, the bleed doesn't seem too bad, but you know, you have the option of never blocking, and it also triggers on parry as well as a heads up, or you know, the alternative, which is probably suggested, of using a bleed immune champion. So now that we've, you know, gone through the map and talked about the 6 bosses, and again, each one of these lanes, there's a total of, I believe it's 6, yeah, 6 in total. So it's kind of like a gauntlet style event, but if you just want to do kind of one lane at a time and then fight the boss, that is a way if you want a potentially cheaper run, but depends, you know, how good you are at fighting Black Panther. But some people, like myself, I used a team of like 5-star rank 4 champions, the exact team you're seeing now. Gwen, Paul Starkenant, Spider-Man, Archangel, Iceman, Dr. Voodoo. I went through the whole thing, mainly playing Iceman and Dr. Voodoo, but the only champion that died was Archangel. I made so many mistakes, didn't have to use any health potions, didn't have to use any revives. So yeah, but my roster's quite stacked, and I had a 20% boost on, so you know, that's not going to be the case, obviously, for everybody. But yeah, let's talk about some of the best options and matchups for this mission, and I believe, to be honest, there are a lot. Now we have Black Panther, Black Widow, and Falcon, who I've all kind of bundled together, but again, against Black Panther, you want to keep in mind that you can't bleed him, so you don't want to bring a bleed champion. Iceman, all-around MVP. Wolverine is going to be really great for a lot of Black Widow and Falcon fighting, if you can just regenerate from every fight and just keep that health topped up if you want to do it in a single run. Archangel is really good for Black Widow and Falcon. You got Spider-Man, Stark, and Hans. So you can really just have any champion that hits very, very hard, like Star-Lord, Scarlet Witch, Gwenpool. Again, not for Black Panther because of the bleed. Like Blade. I feel like this challenge, because every single opponent that you're fighting is a hero opponent, is kind of a challenge where Blade, he takes a little bit of the back seat, but he's still a very good champion. You got regeneration. There aren't really any negative matchups with Blade, so you know, he's going to work relatively well there. Then we also have Medusa, who has numerous really, really good matchups especially against the final Black Panther Civil War, with her ability to armor shatter and prevent the opponent never from gaining any debuff effects. Still going to take some bleed damage, but if you got stacked Medusa, might work quite well. Hyperion, just all around pretty good character, especially for those that stun immune Black Panther, and also will work for Iron Man. The thing is with Hyperion, because you're getting so many special attacks, you can funnel more power into the opponent, which in a lot of scenarios isn't really that good, but when you have like really easy to bait out like special 1 attacks, like continually being able to get the opponent to special 1 and then just quickly, you know, on Black Panther or Iron Man evading a very, very easy special 1, it's just a great time, man. Makes for very, very quick killing. Then X-23, very good for Black Widow and Falcon. Then you got Rogue, Morningstar. Morningstar might be one of the challenge MVP. She has a lot of really, really good matchups, especially against the War Machine. So as we mentioned earlier, he's going to start with 24 stacks of Fury and 24 stacks of armor. So 48 buffs. You go in with Dr. Voodoo, you have Mystic Dispersion, 4 hits, special 1, he's dead. Morningstar, you just probably hit him, like, get a 5 combo, and then like another hit or 2, fire off that special 2, he's dead. Magic, just keep on hitting and dispelling those armor buffs, especially if you've Mystic Dispersion to get to a special 3, he's dead. Mordo, get to the special 2, use that, he's dead. Ronan, just fire off a special 1 when you have Ronan awaken, because his attacks deal additional damage for every debuff on the opponent. So yeah, just use the special 1, you win the video game. But I would say a lot of the Mystic options, especially the top 3, are going to be a little bit better than Ronan, generally speaking, as well, for some of the other matchups by comparison. And again, when we look at Iron Man, so you want champions really Iron Man that deal like a lot of damage by the time you get to him, or have some way to kind of negate the healing. So Dr. Voodoo, great option. Star-Lord, Void, you could get a little bit of heal reversal going on there, very good for finishing him off. Archangel, to a certain extent, while he has the class disadvantage, he would work. Gwenpool, tons of damage. Medusa, tons of damage. damage. Same with Hyperion, Spider-Man Stark, and also Morningstar. Morningstar, you have the advantage of stun immune if you're not somebody that can intercept. By this time, you'll probably have 5 souls, and then you want to, you have, on block, you have plus 50% perfect block chance, and also the ability to regenerate. So yeah, a lot of value for a 5 souls Morningstar on that fight. And then against Black Panther, as we mentioned, it's mainly like making sure you don't stun him while he has armor up, and trying not to parry or bring like a bleed immune champion. Kind of want to just bait out those special attacks as much as possible. So you got Iceman, Medusa as some really good options. Morningstar as well, Ghost Rider for the bleed immune. You could use a Colossus. Pretty much any bleed immune character is probably gonna serve quite nicely in this matchup. But even if you don't have bleed immune characters, just bring somebody like a Dr. Voodoo or any strong damage dealing character. So yeah, overall this challenge, it ain't too bad. It's definitely worth it for kind of the rewards, like 20 generic 5-star signature stones and almost 2,000 5-star shards, a 4-star awakening gem. There's so much to the rewards of these challenges, and for the effort invested, they're well worth your time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any additional pro matchup tips? Let me know in the comments below. Apart from that, thank you very much for watching, take care, and I hope that you all have a fantastic day.